Hey Legacy Builders, welcome back to Mind Your Money. Alright, in this video, I'm going to be setting up my October budget. So I'm doing a complete reset. So I'm going to be completing my October budget using my Simple Budget Workbook in the hardcover. So this is the 6-month budget planner that's on Amazon. This is my author's copy. So if you do decide to purchase, you won't see this not for resale on there, just so you know. So I'm going to flip to October and share with you some of the things that I'm thinking about for this month. And we're still keeping it simple, but we're trying to make sure we're hitting some goals. All right. This book is different from my annual budget. There's no page or pages for writing out a vision, doing a brain dump, or there are no extra note pages. You get one in this book. I'm just trying to keep things very simple. All right, so I just wrote down a few things that I really want to focus on for the month. It's a lot of different things. I usually set up 3 goals, but this is what I just took the advantage of writing out some things that I'm thinking of. We're going into the last quarter of the year, so this is the last 3 months of this year. We're still trying to save as much money as we can towards future bills. I still want to do the 5% savings, 5% investing, 10% giving on each budget by paycheck so that we can stay consistent with that. And even though as the income grows, that 5% can be more and more and more each week because again, it's 5% of whatever the income is we have each week. I do budget by paycheck if you're new here. So I will set up a monthly budget, which I did. I started with my calendar, but then I will also budget by paycheck. So here, all I did was wrote the month and the year, wrote in all of my dates here, put stickers down for the paydays. We have 4 in this month, and then wrote out what bills are due when. It's more simple and less overwhelming for me that way. One of my sons has karate each week, so I wrote that in because those are days where every Saturday I'm pretty much going to be spending something from somewhere. So I need to make sure that either I have enough cash set aside for when we go out, because we'll probably eat out, or maybe it's a week that they need haircuts, or I'll just have enough money in our miscellaneous account. So when if I use my credit card, I know we have the money to cover those charges, right? That's one way I'm trying to make sure we're not overspending. And then here at the bottom, I have this to-do, goals, and affirmations little box or section. This is basically where you would write out an affirmation or a few affirmations to yourself, or write out a top goal or something important that you need to remember to do in the month, because if it's going to affect your money, then you definitely want to have it here on your budget calendar. So I just reminded myself that it's a 4-pay month. So we don't have an extra paycheck this month, but we need to save towards our renter's insurance that's coming up due in December. So then this is just a quote I came up with myself, basically. With every income comes an opportunity to build a strong financial future. So it doesn't matter how much you make. It matters what you do with the money that you make. Are you keeping your bills and expenses as low as you can? Are you strategizing your savings or investing for your future? Because every dollar you put towards your savings or your investments matters. So I'm going to zoom out, and then let's go ahead and set up the monthly budget now. This left side of the page is the planned side. So the planned income, I left 3 slots here, and then there are 3 different what I call buckets. You have a space for your monthly bills, a space for monthly savings, and then miscellaneous, which is everything else, any variable expenses or extra savings, extra debt payments, whatever that you can fit in there. Okay, and then on the right side is the actual income, actual bills, savings, and other. We're going to be planning to use $2,800. So it's less than last month, and of course September was a golden month, so that's why it's different. But we're going to make this money stretch as much as we can. Our monthly bills are really, really simple. We do have to put aside money for rent, but this will be for November's rent because we're a month ahead of our rent. So November's rent will be $1,500. Then we have our electricity bill, PSEG, which is due, and we're going to budget $50 for that. And then I have 2 Allstate life insurance policies. So I'm going to write Allstate Life, and that's 2 of them. And we're going to budget $69 for the two. We have our internet, which is provided by Spectrum. So this is just Wi-Fi. No landline, no cable, anything like that. Just Wi-Fi. And that's $85 we're going to budget. It used to be $50. Good Lord. Metro is basically our cell phone provider, or our mobile phone. And I think it's Metro by T-Mobile now. And that we're going to budget for $94. We have Geico, which is our car insurance, and that we budget for $77 now. And then we have YMCA, which is our gym membership. And the YMCA, we're budgeting for $93 or $94. That's better. Let's round up just a little bit. So let's add this up and see where we are. 1,500 plus 50 plus 69 plus 85, 94, 77, and 94. 1969. So our total monthly bills, $1,969. Now on to monthly savings. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to add we're probably going to save in 4 categories. Emergency fund is going to be the first one, because this is super important to me to have money in our emergency fund. Even if we can only put like $50 or $60, we have to put something. We're going to save in our household. This is a savings account, a high yield savings account with Capital One 360. So I put money in here, and whatever we put in there, that's our budget. That's how much we have to spend from. Then we have transportation, because we need that. And everybody needs that. And then renter's insurance, because again, that's coming up due in December, and I want to make sure we put some money towards it. So the savings, I budgeted to save $140. So if I save $140, I just divide that into 1, 2, 3, 4, which is $35 a week. So the total savings for the month would be $40. And then for household, that's going to be $5 a week. So that's $20 for the month. I know it sounds low, but we are going to be starting October with a small balance in our household account. So I'm not worried about it, but it is low. Transportation, $10 a week. So that's another $40. And then renter's insurance has nothing in it right now, but we're planning to put $10 per week in the month of October. So that's $40 towards our renter's insurance. And we'll still have November to beef that up. So let's add that up. We have 40. Let me put you here. 40 plus 20 plus 40 plus 40. $140. That's what I budgeted. Thank God that worked out. So $140 is what we plan to save in the month of October. Oh, I shouldn't have written that yet, because I'm going to include investing here. So I made a boo-boo, and this is not going to look very pretty, but it's okay. We're going to live. Renter's insurance was the last thing, then investing. So I am going to invest via my IRA. So I'm just going to put Fidelity here. So I know this is the one that I'm using, because I have 2 individual retirement accounts. One is with Fidelity, and the second one is with Vanguard. But we're going to contribute to the Fidelity IRA for now, and that is going to be $140. So that's where that money is going. So this is actually $280 for monthly savings. Investing is a form of savings. It just has a higher yield over time. So, and I did do that right, correct? $280. Okay. So miscellaneous. So the top goal we have is to make sure we give our tithe, and we're going to plan to give $280 in the month of October. And then we have miscellaneous and cash. So we're going to pull out $310 in cash throughout the month of October, and then we're going to put aside $97 towards our miscellaneous expenses. So that's that. So then we add that up. We have $280 plus $310 plus 97, which gives me 687. So our total miscellaneous bucket is $687. So we should have a zero-based budget if I did my pre-planning the right way. So monthly bills is $1969. Well, first let's start with the income. $2,800 is what we planned. Minus $1969 minus $280 minus $687. Oh no, we're over budget by $136. I just figured out what I did. And what I did was I added Geico and YMCA to our budgeted bills, but these are actually going to be paid in the month of September, because we have a golden paycheck, and that golden paycheck is taking care of those. So I'm not going to put that aside in the month of October. So let me go back, and now I have to fix my mistake. So we'll take 1969 and subtract the 77 and the 94, and that brings us to 1798. So if that's 1798 and we add 280 and 687, we get 2765. That's the right number. $35 is what's owed, right? Let's do that. 2,800 minus 2765. This $35 that I have left over is actually going to next month's bills, and that is a savings for future bills, right? So I'm going to put that here in my savings section. This is not perfect, but this is how it goes. So we're going to save $35 towards that, and this is not 280 now. I wish I did have my correction tape now. So 280 plus 35 is 315. So we're actually going to be saving $315 in the month of October. That's the plan. And so this number should be, once again, let's see, 1969 minus 77 minus 94, 1798, 1798. So much for this being so neat and simple. But this is a real life budget. So there we go. Real life budget. All right. So let's try that one more time. The 2,800 that we're planning to use minus 1798 minus 315. Boom, minus 687. Now we have a zero-based budget. Every dollar was assigned, and I'm glad that we're a little bit ahead. And this is just a budget check at the bottom. The bills are $1,798, because we're going to be ahead of some bills anyway. Savings is $315, and miscellaneous is $687. That's how we do it. And then when I come to close out the budget, then I'll go ahead and fill out the actual side, just like I did with September. All right, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my budgets by paycheck. Okay, let's start with the budget by paycheck number 1, which is for October 6th. And the budget period for me is the Sunday to the Saturday. So from the 1st to the 7th, that's where we're checking. So 10/1 to 10/7. And this is for the first paycheck. So we're going to plan for an income of $700, and the planned expenses will be $700 again, because this is a zero-based budget. Our tithe is 10% of whatever income we use, and we're planning for 70. We'll see. I need to remind myself that the first week of bills have already been paid in September. That way I don't go ahead and just double pay them. So for giving, the plan is $70 for our tithe, and that's 70. For our savings, we're going to start with the emergency fund, and the emergency fund, the plan is to give it $10. Household is also a plan. We're going to put, I think, $5 there. Yeah, $5 every week. And then transportation is a purpose fund. So we're going to move down to this section where it says funds. These are purpose funds for me and my husband. So we have transportation, and that's going to get $5 every week. No, $10 every week. So the first week it'll get 10. And then renter's insurance, which this actually, I changed this account to something else. So I might just put this money into our annual bills fund. That way it gains a little more interest and we can have enough money for it at the end of the month to put towards December's renter's insurance. So $15 for our long-term savings and $20 for our short-term savings. In investing, we're still doing the 5%, so I'm going to send $35 to the IRA that week. And then we have cash expenses. So for the first week of the month, I think I'm going to use $60 in cash. And I'm going to put 10 of that to laundry. And then $40 to challenges, because again, I want to get ahead of those challenges and get my 1K challenge completed earlier than the last week of December. And then my youngest boy, I should say now, because we have another baby coming, I'm going to put $10 into his binder, into a few envelopes. So that's how I plan to spend $60 in cash. And we have other, which again is miscellaneous. Miscellaneous is going to get $7 in the first week. At least that's the plan. So that's a total of $7 for other. And then bills and expenses. This we can't forget, right? So we're planning $118 for bills and then $375 towards November's rent. So for November's rent, we're going to set aside $375. And then for the bills that we have that week, which again is going to be, this is for October's rent, which we're paying with September's money. Geico and YMCA are already taken care of, so the only one bill we have is PSEG. So we're not going to actually pay that this week. What I'm going to do is pay Spectrum and Allstate One for next week, since these were already taken care of. So Spectrum is $85 and Allstate is $35. So we're going to go ahead and put $118 towards 2 bills that week. So I'm just going to write 2 bills, and the plan is $118. And so I'll write down below the bucket here that Spectrum is $85 and Allstate One is $33. 85 plus 33 is $118. All right, so that is the first budget by paycheck for the month of October. So the planned income that we have is $700. The planned expenses is $700. And we'll do a quick check on my calculator to make sure I did everything right. 70 plus 15 plus 35 plus 20 plus 60 plus 7 plus, I didn't even add this up. 375 and 118. Am I moving too fast? That is a zero-based budget though. I'm moving too fast. Okay, and that's it for paycheck number 1. Let's go on to paycheck number 2. Paycheck number 2 will cover the period from the 8th of the month of October through the 14th. So let's go ahead and do that. So from 10/8 to 10/14, and this is paycheck number 2. So we're still going to plan for $700. Is the same as our expenses. And for week 2, we need to remember to add renters savings to annual bills. This week, the giving is the same because it's a straight 10% of whatever we're using. So that's not different. The emergency fund, household, transportation, and renters are pretty much going to get the same amount each week. And I think my transportation expenses were really high in like July, end of July, August, and most of September, only because I was going to the OB more frequently. But now my visits are less frequent, so I should be spending less. I hope that will help us keep our transportation costs a little bit lower. Investing is going to be $35. That's just what we plan for each week in this month. And then cash expenses for this week is going to be $50. So what I plan to do here is put $10 towards laundry in this week, and then also $40 towards challenges. Again, trying to make sure I stay ahead of the game with all of those challenges and save as much as we can for baby too. for baby girl and also for the 1K challenge. Then other miscellaneous is going to get $5. We're going to set that aside. Hopefully we don't spend too much that we're not supposed to, because we're supposed to be doing a low spend for October. Bills and expenses. This week we're going to pay the second Allstate life policy and our cell phone bill. And that is due on the 13th. So let me take a quick look at my calendar again. Yeah, that's for the second week because we're ahead of these bills already. So that's why it's a little bit different than what I normally would do. So for bills, we're going to put aside November's rent, or a portion of November's rent. And that's $375. And then we're going to put aside $130 towards bills because we have those 2 bills that we want to pay as early as possible. So $375 plus $130 is $505. So $505. And now we need to see if we have a zero-based budget or not. So the first thing we did was a give, and then plan for savings, investing, more savings, cash, miscellaneous. What am I doing? I think I hit minus instead of plus, y'all. What is going on? 70 plus 15 plus 35 plus 20 plus 50 plus 5 plus 505. Maybe I didn't. $700, because most of this budget seems to be going towards bills, but that's fine. $700 here, we got to pay bills, and $700 here. So planned income $700, planned expenses $700. All right, now we can go ahead and move on to paycheck number 3. Paycheck number 3 for the next week, looking back at the calendar, is 1, 2, 3, the 20th. So from the 15th to the 21st. So 10/15 to 10/21, and this is paycheck number 3. We're going to plan for the same amount, making this uniform. Plan doesn't mean that we don't expect more to come in, because it can definitely happen. Top priority, Romans 8:28. Giving, we're going to give $70. Savings, again, the same as before. Nothing changed there. $10 to the emergency fund. Household will get $5, and that's $15 for our long-term savings. Investing, we're going to plan for $35 again to my IRA. I'm doing a 100 shares challenge. If you don't know, I share a short update on that either every week or every other week. And then for short-term savings, again, that's the same. Transportation will get $10. And we're planning to send or put $10 aside towards our renter's insurance. So that's $20. And then we have cash expenses for the 3rd week. We plan to pull out $100 in cash. So how it breaks down is laundry by this week is going to get $25. And then challenges will get $25, because hopefully by the 3rd week of October, we're starting to save for November's towards the 1K challenge for November. So that's $25 every week. And then my 3 children that I currently have, which are born, not including the one that's in my belly, J2 will get 15. J3 will also get 15. And my blessings binder, which we haven't put money in there in a while, will get $5. So that should be $100. 25 and 25 is 50. Plus 15 and 15 is 30. So that's 80. And then 95, 100. Okay, so that's $100 in cash. Then we have our other miscellaneous. This week is going to get $35, and this is the 3rd week. So we'll plan $35 there. And then bills/expenses for week number 3. But we're actually looking at, we don't have bills. We have 1 bill that's due, because for the month so far we have not allocated any money towards our electricity bill. Even though this is going to be paid on our credit card, we still have more than enough time to pay the credit card back by this date. So, which is the 20th, actually, not the 23rd. So we're going to pay PSEG. First is the rent for November. Every week we're putting aside $375. And then PSEG, which we budgeted for $50. I think we're going to be under that for the month. And that is going to be $425 in total for our bills / expenses. So let's see if we have that zero-based budget again. I always need to double check. It's okay to double check and triple check your work because sometimes the numbers are a little off. So we have 70 plus 15 plus 35 plus 20 plus 100 plus 35 plus 425. 700. All right, so planned income 700, planned expenses 700. Boom shakalaka. We have a zero-based budget. Now for the fourth and final paycheck budget of the month of October, let's go ahead and set that up. And that should be from the 22nd through the 28th. So from 10/22 to 10/28. This is the period that we're looking at. The fourth and final paycheck for the month of November. Not November, y'all. Why am I moving so fast? October. So planned income is 700. Planned expenses will be 700. And we're still going to be, we're going to focus on extra sending money to next month's bills. Send extra to next month's bills because we want to be ahead of November too. We don't want to fall behind. So giving, like you guessed it probably already, you know, is $70. So that's that. And then for savings, what we're going to do is we're going to save in the same 4 categories, except for, remember, renter's insurance. Although I'm writing renter's insurance because that's the focus, we're sending that money to our annual bill savings account so that we can have enough to put towards it, towards what we save in November, and hopefully pay back the credit card in December. So household will get 5, and that's 15 for our long term. Transportation and renter's insurance will get money here. If I do whatever money comes in that's extra, because we're believing for extra to come in, I'm going to add to our wellness fund because we definitely need that with all the vitamins and supplements and things I am taking right now, and plus for the rest of my family. We need to make sure we build that up. We also have renters that we're saving for. So renters insurance, we'll plan to put 10, just like the other weeks, and that's $20. Investing will get $35, just like clockwork, every single week. And then we're going to do cash for $100 again this week. So $100 in cash is going to be broken down this way. We're going to try $25 towards laundry again. Challenges in the last week is going to get $50. I'm hoping I can do 2 more of those little squares for my 1K challenge so I can get that done. My wallet, this will be the first week in the month of October that will have money going towards my wallet, and that's $20. And then blessings, the blessings envelope, the plan is to put $5 there. This is subject to change, but we'll see. So 50 plus 25 is 75, 80, 90, 100. Boom. Other miscellaneous is going to get $50 in this last week of October. So let's put that in. Let's hope we can stick to that also, because we know we're going to need to buy food and other things that come up. And again, we already have balances in these accounts before we enter into October, so we're just adding to what is already there. And hopefully we're keeping our expenses low and we're being reasonable about it until, you know, the abundance really starts flowing in. You know what I'm saying? We believe God for abundance. Bills / expenses. We're going to send $35 to next month's bills because that's what we'll have left. At least that's what my pre-plan says. So we will see if I did that right this time. $375 is going towards November's rent. And next month's bills, right, for November, or towards November's bills, is going to get $35. So $375 plus 35 equals $410. And 410, let's start from the beginning. So we have our tithe giving at 70. This baby just kicked me. Oh boy. Plus 15, plus 35, plus 20, plus 100, plus 50, plus 410 is 700. So we have a zero-based budget. Boom shakalaka. All right. Now I know we're done. And you guys couldn't even see me writing that part. I'm so sorry. Here we go. I am so very sorry. All right, so that's it for our budgets, and this is a different workbook. I have 2 expense trackers, only 2. So October has to be a low spend month for us. We've got to have a low spend month, because if we just go over, it's going to start looking real sloppy, and I don't want that. So one of these is for the operating account. This other one is for the credit card, because that's where I track expenses from to make sure we don't go over our budgeted amounts in all of those different purpose funds, and so that we don't overspend and spend money where we shouldn't be. So for the month of October, the operating account in this book has 1 page. So we have to keep things very simple and consistent. And then also for the month of October, our credit card, or our household credit card, that's what I'm calling it, our household credit card will have 1 expense tracker, right? And I'll be tracking this every single week. And there's another notes page, so I could do some pre-planning, brainstorming. I'm sorry, I don't know why the camera was refocusing, but pre-planning and brainstorming here, and then I can track our short-term savings here. So I'll fill that in, and then again, once we get to the end of the month, you know, we got 31 days. Once we get to the end of the month, I'll close it out and see how much we have saved all together. And then, of course, there's a net worth sheet. So this book does have some of the same worksheets as my annual budget workbook, but it's a little bit different. There's less expense pages. It's not a yearly book. It's only 5 or 6 months. And then also there's more blank pages without any, you know, prompting for vision board and brain dump and all of that. But you can use these blank pages for that. Why not? All right. And then it goes on to the next month. So that is October, you guys. All the budget by paychecks for the month. The monthly budget is set up, and we're ready to go. We're ready to have a successful month. I hope you're ready to have a successful month. I hope you are continuing to not worry about tomorrow. All right? Mind your money, manage it well, and live your lives abundantly. Thank you so much for being here. Bye for now.